Aladdin has been activated by BlackRock. Your time has come. But first, congratulations to the XRP community. Congratulations to the XRP holders on making it this far. It has begun. Tonight, the heavenly doors, the heavenly gates have opened wide. The XRP community gathered enough strength to open the heavenly gates. And now we have entered that field where it's go up and never stop. I repeat, it's time to literally pump. Why? Because Aladdin will make it come true. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what's happening. Why am I keep on saying quote unquote Aladdin? Well, because it's what runs these markets, and it's from BlackRock. First things first, we're going to be talking about that in just a second. Oh, and not to mention, David Schwartz, you're about to get exposed as well because of, again, it's all running by trading bots. Now, first things first, the 2 weekly just closed, guys, for XRP. Guess what? It's the highest 2 weekly close ever. Same as the weekly on the Heiken Ishis and on probably on the regular candles as well. Now, what does this mean? Why is this so significant? This signifies that the heavenly doors have now opened officially. Let me give you guys an example by the RSI indicator and why this is very significant. Okay, now this means that all the bots that are controlling the crypto market have agreed to switch, yes, to buying XRP. So BlackRock just flipped the switch on Aladdin, and now they have agreed to buy XRP until we see bearish divergences confirmed on the higher time frames. The reason why the heavenly gates have opened, here's an easy example just by looking at the RSI, even though I never use this indicator, but it's the same exact thing, guys. It's due to momentum. You guys see the first peak on the 2 weekly chart, right? Corresponding with this peak, the second peak, right? That was a bearish divergence. Guess what? We now see the body candle is above at this level right here, right? If we zoom it in, you guys see it's above this body candle, guys, on the 2 weekly, which now means there's a triple bearish divergence forming. It hasn't been confirmed at all. So now what the bots are going to do in tandem, they're all in agreement to pump XRP, and they're going to try their hardest to kill this triple bearish divergence on the 2 weekly, the same as the weekly. Okay, there's a triple bearish divergence. So the bots, such as Aladdin by BlackRock, have now agreed to pump XRP as hard as possible, and they're going to try and kill these bearish divergences. I don't know if they will, right? But they're at least going to try, and them trying will pump XRP minimum to $5 to $10, right? If not a lot higher. Okay, so that's why I keep telling you guys Aladdin, which is an AI bot controlled by BlackRock, literally controlling every market known to mankind. I'm about to expose it all in today's video, all the secrets that have been kept hidden. Let's first watch this video. This robot already owns everything and is just getting started. BlackRock Aladdin. Let us begin. Dave Schwartz is about to appear very soon, right after this.
What if I told you there is a robot that controls more wealth than any country on earth? A robot so powerful that in the last 10 years, it has quietly created the biggest company in the world. This is the story of a robot called Aladdin. It's Wall Street's best kept secret, and it's gobbling up every asset class across every industry. Aladdin now controls $21 trillion of our global economy. To put that in perspective, that's more than the $20 trillion GDP of the US or the $15 trillion GDP of the entire European Union. The New Statesman wrote, the total physical cash of all 7 billion people and every company, bank vault, wallet, and piggy bank in the world is around $5 trillion. Aladdin has...
What did it just say? Meet Aladdin, the computer more powerful than traditional politics. How a single computer system came to influence the value of vast swaths of the world's financial assets. Right, so this robot that is controlled by BlackRock, that they have built, controls all markets, guys. Right, and it's ran on algorithms for that to appear. Let's keep watching. Look what he says and how it ties it all. It's gonna all tie in beautifully.
Every company, bank vault, wallet, and piggy bank in the world is around $5 trillion. Aladdin has grown into a system responsible for more than 4 times the value of all the money in the world. This one robot directs the actions of the US Federal Reserve, almost every major bank and investment fund on Wall Street, and over 17,000 traders. It controls half of all ETFs, 17% of the bond market, 10% of the global stock market, and carries out 250,000 trades every day and billions of forecasts every week, year after year.
There it is. So if it controls all those assets, right, from different markets, how will it not control Bitcoin? Isn't that strange, right? And this crypto market, because as soon as on an exchange, if Bitcoin dumps a little bit, well, every other exchange immediately follows suit. And not to mention, how I know this to be a fact is because when you place a large order, okay, on XRP, and it's possibly a trade, guys. If you place a large order, what happens on the 5-second, right? On the 5 seconds, and as soon as you place an order, it's gonna dump. If you're going long, that is, the charts of XRP will dump, right? I don't know about Bitcoin or Ethereum, but I know for a fact. Go ahead and try this, but I don't know if you probably need a bunch of money. If you place a large buy order, the chart immediately dumps. Then after, it course corrects itself, right? It like tries to trick you, which is very odd. That's definitely a bot running. Let's continue the show.
Here, it hoovers up trillions of data points on every market, every company, every asset, and now even each of us, what we buy, sell, and say, so that it knows what to buy and what to sell far better than any human being. Every major bank, company, and investment fund has come to rely on Aladdin and its all-powerful AI and algorithms to beat the market. And if they didn't, they've collapsed and failed in Aladdin's wake. And you know what the craziest part of this story is? This robot is just getting started. So where did Aladdin come from and how did it get so powerful? Aladdin is the brainchild of Larry Fink, the founder of BlackRock, and its total dominance has made his company. And then in 1986, an error in the back-office computer models led to Larry making the wrong trades and he lost the company $100 million. The result was Larry leaving the bank.
So basically, Larry Fink had some failures in his career, guys, and then he got so fed up basically that he created Aladdin to take over the entire world because everything runs on money.
Is a failure with a stupid computer to blame. With that experience, Larry had just one ambition: to build a super smart robot that could pick out risk and opportunity in the market and do it better than any computer or human could do. In 1988, he launched a new startup, BlackRock, with a tiny coding team to give birth to this robot. Its name? Aladdin, which stands for...
I'm pretty sure though he got the call from the higher ups to do this, right? Because they need to centralize power, in my humble opinion.
Asset, liability, and debt derivative investment network. In its first 10 years, Aladdin was fed information about every asset, price movement, and risk variable in the global bond market, Larry's specialty. And in 1999, when Aladdin turned 11, Aladdin was getting so intelligent at picking losers and winners that Larry began selling access to his data to other Wall Street firms. That same year.
Yep, so it just got bigger and bigger. So let's skip a bit, guys. But again, it's just not Aladdin. You know what? Let's talk about it right now. David Schwartz, your time has come. Now, David Schwartz is most definitely a legend, but remember, there are bots running the show. It's not you and I, right? That's why prices are so weird, guys, right? It's not a human that is clicking buy after buy after buy, right? That's making prices pump or the opposite dump. It's obviously a bot that's running the show, such as from David Schwartz. I spent 2 weekends implementing a trading bot that uses an algorithm that's as close to the XRP Ledger's automated market maker algorithm as possible to trade on centralized exchanges. Here's it trading Solana. So if David Schwartz can do it, if one single human can create a bot that's profitable, probably, okay, imagine what an institution worth trillions upon trillions upon trillions can do. Do you guys see? Now are we starting to understand who controls these markets and why I stated that the bots have now agreed, right? The conditions are met for them to just buy and gobble up XRP, because the condition being met that it needs to now try to kill the bearish divergences on the very high time frames. Okay, so on the monthly 10 days it gets confirmed as well. The 3 weeks then comes into play, right? It's like all bearish divergences. So what Aladdin will do now is it's going to try to push XRP as far and high as possible. I don't know what price it will go to because I don't know. I'm not a bot, a trading bot or an AI, but they're going to push it as far as possible to try to kill it if they can, or if they don't, then if the conditions are met on the lower time frame, such as the 3-day, 4-day, and there are bearish divergences, well, the bots will switch side, right? The conditions are now changed into being bearish, but until then, it's now official. The bots are going to take us to the promised land, not financial vice. So back to this topic.
Had a new playground, analyzing every stock trade and risk factor for every company on the stock market. As a result, today BlackRock, together with his two closest rivals, Vanguard and State Street, both of which also rely on Aladdin's mountain of knowledge, have become the biggest shareholders of over 40% of all public listed companies in America. To 2008, the global financial crisis hits, and before Aladdin turns 21 years old, is called on by every Wall Street bank and Timothy Geithner, the head of the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury. As soon as Lehman Brothers collapsed and the Wall Street meltdown began, the US government came calling to save the next collapsing bank, Bear Stearns. It was Aladdin who decided which assets to keep and which to leave in the $30 billion rescue package. And few people know
it was all Aladdin's job, right? Like now, go compare ChatGPT to Aladdin, right? Imagine what ChatGPT can do a bunch of stuff such as Grok, right? All the data points are out there on the internet, right? It basically gathers all this information and spits out the most possible or the highest outcome, right? To be profitable. That's Aladdin's job. ChatGPT is different, but still, ChatGPT just came out recently, supposedly. Who knows how long it's been in the works, but Aladdin's been here for decades. How advanced is Aladdin at this point? Who knows? But look what Aladdin did right here. Play.
it was a robot that saved America from disaster. With that first success, the Fed, US government, and now even European and Japanese central banks began relying on Aladdin to make the calls on where the $2.5 trillion of new money they printed should go. The majority of it, bonds and funding to prop up the mortgage companies and banks. But wait, aren't these exactly the assets that Aladdin and BlackRock already were invested in? Exactly. But growing protests of conflict of interest were drowned out by the noise of the printing presses printing more money, as the assets control shifted from mutual funds to ETFs. And that's when, in 2017, everything changed. On Aladdin's 29th birthday, Larry launched a top-secret project at BlackRock, codenamed Monarch. It led to the firing of his fund managers and replacing their funds with Aladdin's funds. The robot was now eliminating humans from the equation altogether. And as a result, today, over 70% of all trades on US stock markets are decided by robots, with Aladdin leading the way. These trades are completed from...
Exactly. So that's what runs the crypto market, right? It's so weird, guys. Again, that's why whoever trades are most likely losers. They're not profitable because you're trading against bots. That's why they tell you to just, that's why the riddlers have told us and told everyone to just buy and hold. Because then you could outplay the bot, right? So it's quite simple on what's going on here, but most people wouldn't have realized until I made this video, because Aladdin, your time has come, and XRP, it has arrived.
Beginning to end without a human involved in high frequency trading far faster than a human can execute. Now, if this was just a...
Exactly, right? You can't come close to the robot, guys. It's just too far superior, right? But remember, at least the robot isn't conscious, supposedly, right? Nor does it have creativity. That's where we come into play.
When no one can compete without Aladdin, as CEOs and asset managers like Anthony Malloy are now saying, Aladdin is like oxygen. Without it, we wouldn't be able to function. And what about government regulation? Well, Joe Biden has appointed BlackRock executive Brian Deese as head of the National Economic Council, which basically means the oversight of Aladdin and BlackRock is now the responsibility of BlackRock. And Biden has also appointed BlackRock Chief of Staff, Wally Adeyemo, to be Assistant Secretary of the Treasury, which means BlackRock is now the Treasury as well as the Treasury Advisor. And this story is far from over.
So that's it, guys, right? Aladdin has been activated, and it's just going to keep running the show until one day they switch their tune and to becoming bearish. But not financial advice. Let's see what appears next, because it's about to get crazy, isn't it? The heavenly gates have opened wide. Let us begin. Not financial advice. Wow. What is that? So face me? See ya.